Terunofuji has picked up the pace, fighting Hiradoumi 11 times at Camp Tatsunami on Friday, and coming away with 9 wins, including a couple by lift-out. "It felt pretty okay," the lone Yokozuna said. "I feel things are gently improving. I've done loads of weight training, so it's now a case of calling out guys with different skills and adapting my body's movements." On Saturday, he graced Atsuta Shrine, as a Yokozuna must do every year prior to the July meet, to perform his entering ceremony. This time in front of some 5,000 heat-braving spectators. "I'm giving my all to the training I'm currently able to do in order to post the best possible results," he somewhat formulaically said. And, as it's the last meet at the current hall, he continued, "I will do my best to liven things up." Hiradoumi, who faced him for the first time since April 27th, said, "That's the kind of training I need to do if I'm to stand a chance of winning at elite Saiyaku level." He was also advised by Terunofuji not to be overawed. "Don't assume that I'm tiring you out," the Yokozuna said. "That's what gets you panting and makes me think I have you. If you let your opponent swallow you up, you can't project your own aura." "The sheer pressure he exerts and the aura he exudes is just unbelievable," was Hirado's verdict. "I'm so grateful to receive his advice." Hirado also fought Kirishima and Hoshoryu that day, picking up the odd win here and there. "Which I guess means I'm getting stronger," he said. Then, the following morning, Saturday, saw Hoshoryu and Kirishima visit him at Camp Sakaigawa. There, Hoshoryu went 12-6. 2 of those wins by a lift and drop, reminiscent of his uncle. "I want to keep going in this vein," last year's July champion said. "Training feels good right now, and I want to push for my second cup." He came at the behest, apparently, of Coach Sakaigawa, who loves to push Hiradoumi to the point at which he feels out of depth. Kirishima went 8-4 that session, and felt he was finally back to full fitness. "If I keep training like this, July won't be a problem," he said, presumably referring to the 10 wins he needs to regain Ozeki status. "I've come to realize just how much my sumo depends on my charge," he added. "That's the springboard I must have to encroach. And as my kid keeps telling me to win the cup, I guess I better try." His master, Otoyama, opined, "Though better than yesterday, Kirishima still needs a slightly harder charge." Hiradoumi, for the record, posted a creditable 7-11, says Horchi Sports, which included some solid wins built around his trademark inside right. Meanwhile, Asanoyama was still not fighting practice bouts as of Friday morning, with his right eyelid stitches yet to be removed. He could only test out some charging techniques against lower-tier colleagues, then let them attack his chest and practice using his knees to defend. "Staying in the ring is good practice too," he told reporters there. "And I can also work on not getting caught on my left or right flanks, just keeping the guy in front of me. I can't tell you how much I'm straining at the leash right now. And I'm mad with myself for picking up these injuries. But I long to sample the joy of competing, so I hope only to keep my spirits up." His student-era rival, Yutakayama, summed things up pretty well on X in May when tweeting, "My God, you're injured all over. I admire you for soldiering on." And finally, another coach sadly departs well before his time. Coach Iwatomo has passed away at the age of just 42. He'd been in hospital for 2 months, we've learned. It seems because of a stroke. Shell-shocked, Master Kasugano, who only got the news minutes before Saturday training was due to begin, said, "The last time I saw him, I told him to make sure he properly recovered. He couldn't respond with words, I'm afraid, but distinctly nodded his head. I remember him as a passionate and considerate man, perhaps not the strongest in the ring, but a really, really promising coach. And for the past 8 years, he was also in charge of setting up the Nagoya tournament. So I hope we can deliver something for him in Nagoya this time." Coach Hatachiyama of the same stable said, "Everyone's clearly in shock." While his colleague Kiyomigata added, "I really thought that before too long we'd be back working together. I guess we all have to try that bit harder for him this time round." Sumo's rush to produce online content during the pandemic saw Coach Iwatomo's stock increase as a key face on the Oyakata YouTube team. I, though, shall most remember him for his decent customer service skills inside the Sumo merchandise booths, and the breaks he frequently took from that to steal a peek at his charges bouts.